Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Thursday at 1 p.m. And it is the 6th of February already. Can you even believe that? Let me get settled up over here, get my computer going, make sure I can see y'all when you come. Okie dokie jokey, here we go. It looks like I am showing live, so hopefully you can see me. Yes, I do see my arm moving, so that is a very good sign. Let me push this up just a tad. Hey Rosie, appreciate you coming, kid. Alrighty, so this is our card for today. Hello Stephanie, hi Debbie and Debbie. And Marva, appreciate you guys joining me and spending part of your day here with me. So, this card is a fun fold. It's for the Creative Creases Challenge, which will go live tomorrow. Oh, I got that little bit taken up there. And I hope you'll join us. You'll have a link to the challenge. And I know you guys like to do fun folds because you follow me and you know I like to do fun folds. So I hope you will make your own and post it on the challenge. We love to see everybody's creative endeavors. So this one uses some of the Mixed Media Floral DSP, one of my favorite DSPs it's an online exclusive. And it uses the heart-shaped bundle, which is still available as a $120 level free gift with Sale-A-Bration, which only has 20 days left or 21 days. Okay, so you probably want to get after it if you don't already have this set, because you are going to want it. All right, so this is called an interlocking front flap fold card. I mean, that's sort of what I heard it was called. And when you open it, you have a pretty sentiment and the beautiful heart-shaped wreath on the inside. So it's pretty easy to make. Let's go ahead and get started. Everything will be on my blog, Tamale. Oh, good afternoon, everybody, from wherever you are. And I am so happy that you are here. Okay, so let me get my trimmer out. And we're going to start with a piece of basic black cardstock. And it is 5 1/2 by 10 3/4 inches long. And I'm going to do this the way that you don't have to put the arm out. You can put the arm out and do the math, but I'm going to show you how to do it from this direction. So putting the long edge in across the top, we're going to score at 1 5/8 inches. Be sure you use that light gray one, just saying. And then we're going to push it down and score at 3 1/4. Okay, then take it out. Turn it 180 degrees so you have the non-scored end forward, and do it again. So 1 5/8 inches to start with, and 3 1/4. And that is all we need that for. Okie doke. All right. So, okay. Now, I'm going to take the two inner folds and fold them in like this. All right, and then the first folds, those are the ones that were at 1 5/8, we'll fold the opposite direction and give a good burnish. All right, let me do that this way so that I don't mess up. It's so easy for me to mess up these days, y'all. I'm just saying. Hey, Sharon. Ooh, raining in California, both good and bad. There's good and bad to rain in California these days. I hope you are not in the place where now you are worrying about mudslides on top of everything else. Speaking of, I will be doing another fundraiser towards the end of February. It's kind of a different one. I want to tell you about it real quick. It's a different one. It was devised by 2 other demonstrators, and they asked me to join. Here's the dealio. You'll see a QR code on my blog. And when you scan that, it's going to take you to a PayPal site where you can make a donation of $20. And that $20 donation will go to Mercury One, which is one of my favorite charitable organizations for natural disasters. They do a great job. And when you send that $20 in, you're going to get a link to a private Facebook group where a whole bunch of demonstrators are uploading videos with all different kinds of cards. So you will get lots and lots and lots of content from lots of demonstrators, really kind of all over the world. Michelle Bessaker is one of the demonstrators, and she's in the South Pacific. So you're going to see lots of talent from all over the place. I'm doing it. I think Amy Kunders is in. I'm pretty certain. If she's on, maybe she'll tell me whether she is or not. But $20 is a pretty low entry fee for all of the content that you'll get, and it's all going to a good cause. Mercury One has one of the highest percentages of money directly to recipients of any of the organizations, so you can feel good about that. Okay, so we have our card base done, and now we're really just going to be putting together some matted pieces of DSP. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting. I've done some of it ahead, but some of it I'm gonna have to do here for you. I have this Mixed Florals DSP. This is like one of my favorite designs ever on a DSP. I just think it's gorgeous, and I really wanted to use it, so I was trying to keep everything else kind of low key, right? Because it's pretty busy, and otherwise it could just get overwhelming. Overwhelming. Hey, Evelyn from Michigan, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. Actually, this backside is pretty gorgeous too. That would be a good one. That would have been a good one. Well, it wouldn't though. The reason where I might have used that design would have been over here. You know what? I could probably cut some of this. You think I should do that? Okay, before I get to doing this one, do you think I should use this design for the top flap or stick with the one I've got? You have until I get done gluing to let me know that, and I will cut another piece. How about that? Okay, so for this one though, I'm using the black side. Why? Because that way it kind of blends into the background and doesn't detract from my die cut hearts or from the pretty DSP that I've used on that other flap. All right, I am matting these on Flirty Flamingo, and then I'm going to mat them to these two front ones. Okay, I have a stick with the one I came with. Okay, always leave with the guy that brung you. Gotcha. Don't change horses in the middle of the stream. Okay, now this does have an up and down, so you do want to kind of make sure you put the up and the down instead of vice versa, because then people are going to be like, you put those flowers upside down. Keep the course. Either one is beautiful. Stick with it. Okay. All right. I'm sticking with it. The votes are in. All right. So, okay, right side up. That's good. Okay. Now, I think what I'll do is go ahead and do the inside before I get too much further along. It's a little easier with this particular fun fold to put everything on the inside before you get all your flaps on. All right, so I have a piece of 4" by 5 1/4. And what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to take the pretty, this one of my favorite images ever. I'm going to stamp it twice. The first time I'm going to stamp it in Flirty Flamingo, right in the middle of the panel. And then I'll go ahead and clean the stamp. Oop, oop, don't do that. Nothing like a wet chamois on top of my pan. Oh! That's what the second side is for. So let's try that again. Pretend you didn't see that first one, you guys. Okay. Okay. It's like it never happened, right? What other side? There's no other side. She just did it perfect the first time. Of course she did. All right. And then I'm going to take Petal Pink. So those are the pinks that I've used. What is that? That is wanting to do something weird. I'm going to just leave that alone. No. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this up in Petal Pink, and I'm going to line it up over the top of the heart, and then I'm going to twist it just a little bit. Okay, did you see that? It's very, watch this, I'll do it in slow motion. Ready? Boop, 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 boop. Not even very far. And then just stamp again. And what that does is it just offsets that image enough to give it a real full and bushy look. Okay, now I'm going to show you something that's fixing to blow your mind, okay? My friend, Daryl Robbins, he's a team member of mine, and he sent me this the other day, kind of out of the blue, and he had seen it done And I'm going to tell you what, it's kind of a game changer. What he did is he took a white ink pad. Remember when you purchase the white craft ink pads, you get the uninked pad and a bottle of refill, white refill, and then you ink the pad. Well, what he did, and it's a great idea, is he took that uninked pad and he inked it with Memento, Tuxedo Black Memento ink. What does that do? It gets you a normal foam sponge mat, as opposed to the linen pad that is on Tuxedo Black. I'm going to tell you, and there's no kidding, I really dislike this pad. I really do. I love Tuxedo Black. I use it a lot, but I'm not a fan of the pad. So when he sent me this, I was like, oh, 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 oh. Watch this. It is so great. I'm going to take this sentiment from the heart-shaped bundle, and I'm going to stamp it right in the middle. Look at that. Now, I can assure you that I would not get that nice of an image, even with a fully inked up pad on the Tuxedo Memento ink, okay? So this is a really cool idea. Buy one of the uninked pads, not the Stampin' spots, because they're different. Get the white uninked pad with the refill. Keep the refill for another time, your other white pad, and ink it up with your Memento Black, Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and you will be very, very happy. I'm just saying, okay? So let me close that up. It is, however, still black, still Memento, so you do still have to give it a half a hot second to, yeah, it's a way sharper image. Not the store sharper image, which has some of the coolest things ever. Yeah, you don't even see that. That's not, you don't see that stamped heart and messy mess right there, do you? No, of course you don't. Wayne is slamming the door, coming in the house. We have to go after my video today and head to Costco to buy 15 bottles of Zyrtec. Actually, we get the generic kind for Miss Katie, because she's now going through 40 a day, which means, you know, we kind of want to buy them while they're on sale. All right. It is a game changer, isn't it? Oh my gosh, it is amazing. I can't believe I'm as old as I am and I've been doing this as long as I have and never thought of this. So, Daryl Robbins, thank you for sending me this. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, while that dries, I will do some matting over here. We decided we were sticking with this original one, so I am going to do just that and mat it also on Fleur de Flamingo cardstock. My hair is in my face. Okay, here we go. I just love this paper. And you know, you can get the Memories and More card pack that has many designs in it that feature this design and several others. Okay, so this is going to be our top mat. Our bottom mat, I'm using a very plain version, okay, because I'm going to put my hearts on it, and I don't want it to, I really want the hearts to pop. All right. Okie dokie jokey. Now, so what's going to happen with these is when we get this going, this panel is going to fit up here, and then this panel is going to be down here over the top. I almost did that wrong. It wouldn't have mattered because I wasn't adhering, but I should show you how it is, okay? So we're going to adhere it just like that. So let me go ahead and decorate this. It's a lot easier to decorate before it gets onto that card. I have taken the heart-shaped bundle and I've cut out 3 hearts. I have Poppy Parade, Fleur de Flamingo, and Petal Pink. And we're going to adhere them on the corner of this panel, just like this. It can go off this edge a little bit, and it could go off this edge a little bit, but it's too risky, okay? So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use liquid glue. And let's go ahead and do that first. And you don't need tons of liquid glue. Hey, Suzanne from Wisconsin. But you kind of want to get a little bit as far around it as you can. And little dots will do you if your ink will cooperate like that one just did. And we'll put that right there. And repeat with the Flirty Flamingo. And you could do this in any colors that you wanted. I think greens might be fun because there's some green in the DSP. You could probably use garden green and granny apple green and maybe soft seafoam. Soft seafoam might be nice in place of the petal pink. So think about the different color combinations you could use on this. Okay, now I'm going to put this right there, lining up the pieces and parts. Like that. And one more. One more with the petal pink. This really is a pretty easy card. And tell me this isn't one of your favorite die cuts ever created. I just really love this die cut right here. And when you consider that you can get it for free, to me that just ups its appeal. It just makes it even more appealing. Okay, so there we go. We have our 3 hearts. You can see I've got kind of an ombre look going on, and that's what I was aiming for. Turn this over and give it a good rub so all the parts get stuck down. Thank you, Brandy. I put a die cut heart on top of a stamped heart and really liked it. Oh yes, very nice. Yes, that's absolutely something that you can do. Absolutely. In fact, there's a couple of samples that show that too, so that's really good. Let me see what I got going here. Something right there. Well, I don't know for sure. Okay. Now, for our sentiment, what I am going to do, this will be my one time to go off screen. And I only did it because the sentiment is very close to the same size as the die in the set that I'm using to cut it out. So it's a little hard to aim it and get it right, especially on camera. You know how that goes. So I'm going to stamp this with my new, apparently I did not invent it at all, obviously. And I'm going to put this like right about there on my cardstock and let it dry for a second. All right. Now, this label die, which is right here in the set, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out right like that. So I'm cheating it towards this end, and the fact that it goes off the other side of the cardstock is irrelevant because I'm actually going to trim that down a little bit. So I'll be right back. Hanging on. Be hanging on for just 1 second. All right. All right, I would keep talking, but I'm holding my mouth just right to get the die where it belongs. Okay. Hold your breath, everybody. Hold your tongue just right. Okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. All right. Isn't that so sharp and pretty? I love it. I really, really love it. All right. Now, when you get ready to put this sentiment on, I want you to kind of line these up like this, okay? This one is going to be, you're going to have, if you look at it, you'll see that the with it closed, the edge of this panel just covers this border cardstock right there. All right, so that's pretty much where you're going to have it. Why are we doing this? Because you want to be sure that you don't adhere this weirdly. Okay, so you're going to put it right about there. And I'm going to put a bow there. So I'm just going to cut it right about there. Okay, did you see what that is? It is not an exact science. It's all going to be covered up with, you know, flowers, because that's how I roll. First, I'm going to make a quick bow. Well, it's quick unless I don't do it right the first 12 times, and then it could take me a second. Okay, I like to use 2 pieces of twine. I mean, you can use 1, but it's just going to be kind of a different look. With 2 pieces, you get kind of an extra little bit of fullness there, and it's pretty. But I do want a longer tail on that one. All right. Tired from shoveling. Oh, Joan, that's no good. That is no good. And I just got that one weirded. I am so glad that our snow level that we had a week ago was so non-existent in the big scheme of things that I didn't have to worry about shoveling. By the time we would have thought about shoveling, it would have been gone. Okay, so I've got my bow. Oh, Jean, that's very sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And this little guy's going to go right about there, because remember, we don't want this sentiment to go too far, so we'll put him right like there. Let me give him a little snug up so his knot becomes smaller. I'm still going to use double stack dimensionals because that way I just know that I don't have a bump. I do hate a knot bump. There's nothing worse than a knot bump. All right, here we go. So let's put it right about there. And you can use a glue dot if you prefer. I like the liquid glue because it's just a little less dimensional. Okay, but you do have to give it a second to dry. It's the flip side of using it, for sure. And then I'll put a couple of dimensionals on there. Like right there and right there. And then I'm going to stack one on top. So that's a double stacked. I have occasionally had to use 3, but not too often. All right, and then we'll take that top lid off. You'll see I'm doing a lot of this without it being on the card because it's really hard to hold everything down and in place. And it's hard to get everything straight. So I'm going to straighten up that panel and put that on as straight as I can. And I'm just not going to let it extend very far past that edge because I know, based on the number of times I've set it back on the card, I've got about that much room to do it. Okay, so now I'm going to take a couple of little flowers. Now this flower is a single die. I cut it 3 times just out of basic white. All right, and I am going to put, before I stick them on, again, easier, I'm going to put 3 of the petal pink low profile dots, 1 on each of the card centers, or the flower centers, sorry. Card centers, jeez. Yes, I just got these lips this morning. I'm sorry, I'm breaking them in. They aren't really working that well yet. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue and adhere these on right on the edge of that sentiment, and a second one over here. Oh, I put that. Very good, Mary, very good. I put that on that flower upside down. Now you know you can tell that, right? You know you can tell it. You can tell when a die cut is upside down. Apparently I couldn't tell it when I first put that on there, but I could tell it when I was looking at it. All right, and then we'll put that second flower on, just making sure we're not covering up. Thank you. And then what I did is I just took a small piece of dimensional, because that's how I roll. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. If you didn't want to, you could just put some liquid glue right there and put that last flower on, okay? Hey, I'm glad you just have this set. It's a really good one. Stampin' Up! Has been getting to be very generous with what they offer us for Sale-A-Bration rewards these days. Now, these new fingers that I just got, they came with a set with my new mouth. I'm going to put that on there like that. And then we'll put this last flower on over the top of the Stampin' Dimensional. Okay, now you're probably saying to yourself, why did she even bother with a dot there? Because you can tell if it's not there. Now, with those already on, what I did is take a couple of dimensionals and stack them up like that. Leave that cover on, and I'm going to slide it under the very end here, okay? Without getting under my, just to give that a little support like that. Okay, so there's that. So now all we have to do is assemblize the card. We're going to start by putting the large top flap on first. And that one is right here. And this one does also have an uppy downy, so be sure you get the uppy downy. We're going to adhere it with just a little less than a quarter of it. Well, it's about a quarter of an inch, including the mat, all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some liquid glue on this portion of this card. Don't get too far out, okay? Don't get too far out. Because if you come out this way, then you're going to have glue and it's going to stick to the back of the card, and nobody wants that. So remember the thing about liquid glue. You don't need a ton of it. It's going to squish. And if you use more than you need, it's going to squish to where you don't want it, okay? So we're going to stick it on right there and hold it for just a second. More like this, please. Coordinate with the Stampin' Die. I love it. I know. It's a wonderful set. Please feel free to send that message to Stampin' Up. We do love them. Okay. Now, the next thing is going to be this piece. Now, here's the tricky. If there is a tricky, this is the tricky. When you adhere this, you not only want to keep your glue over here, you want to be sure that it stays far enough that way that this tab fits under that panel, okay? If you go too far out, it's not going to bother the back of your card. It's just not going to let that slide under, okay? So again, we're going to really keep our glue towards this outer edge. Liquid glue is the wunderkind of adhesives. Okay, you don't need a ton, and it will adhere what you need it to adhere. I can assure you of that. So I like to put it in place and then set this panel right in place like that. I get a little squiggly wiggle because of the glue, and then I'm just going to hold it down like that until everything comes together. Okie doke. Hey, Daryl, again, thank you so much for that ink pad and that idea. It was smashing. Have a good day with your group, and I appreciate you watching. Okay, so there's that. That is our card. That is kind of it. I'm going to put a couple of brush butterflies on there, and I'm going to put a couple more little dots, and then we're going to be done. I'm going to do a little more stamping. Now I have two large ones. I'm going to put one large brass butterfly right there. And I'm going to put one, no, I'm going to put him down here. I'll pull out a small one. I just got a new set. Oh, I was going to tell you, speaking of new stuff, I've got my online exclusives pre-order coming. Hopefully it'll be home. It'll be here when we get home this afternoon. So sometime tomorrow I'll be watching. I will probably do a pop-up to let you see all of the new, there's a lot of new things. They will be available to customers in March, and you are going to love them, okay? So I've got just one small butterfly that I'm going to stick right out here on the end of our sentiment. And then I'll take a few more of these low-profile dots and put them out here. You could use the gold if you preferred. I kind of liked how that petal pink was looking. Now, you can also put die cuts and whatnot out here, but you do want to be sure that they won't interfere with that panel coming across there, okay? Because that wouldn't be good. But that is our interlocking front flap fun fold card. Let me do a quick envelope, and we'll be done. That envelope is done. I don't know why I'm putting the S on the end of the card, on the end of my talking. I'm going to, let's do this. Let's clean this off right quick. And we'll do first in Flirty Flamingo. And just let it set off the corner just a little bit. Close this up so I don't make a mess. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Yes, I will be back on Saturday for another card. Don't know what we're going to make, but I hope it'll be something you like. And then we'll do our second heart in petal pink. And first we're going to line it up. And then I'm just going to turn it a little bit like that to offset that image. And voila. And then I've got a big old envelope flap just waiting for some more of my beautiful DSP here. And I'm going to use it because I love it. Gonna use it because I love it. Gonna use it because I love it. I love it so much. All right, so you got a couple of things to watch for. Watch for a pop-up for my sneak peek of the new online exclusives. Watch for the QR code coming soon for that fundraiser. And then watch for me on Saturday, would you? I hope you'll come back. I appreciate you spending part of your week. Hope the rest of your week goes well. And that, as they say in some industry somewhere, is that. So there you go. 2 pretty little thank you cards and a fun fold to boot. And it folds up perfectly to go in your envelope. It's like a bonus. It's like a bonus round. It's a bonus round. Alrighty. Y'all have a great day. Great rest of your week. Appreciate y'all. Thanks. Ta.